You're watching Jono's World, and this is my podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is Jono's World, and this is my first podcast ever. It's rough. We don't have any microphones. You're probably going to hear our kids scream. But I have as my first guest my friend Nate Thompson that I've known since 6th grade.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Grade-ish.
5th
He
grade,
also
6th
goes
grade.
by Tricks, Nate Dog, Nate,
Everything. It's okay.
all that.
Just don't call me Nathaniel. That means I'm in trouble or something.
That's what I heard your mama call you.
Yeah, you get the whole government. You know what it is. You're in trouble
It's
automatically.
true. It's absolutely true. So Nate, like me, grew up in Appalachia. We went to the same school, played on the same sports teams until I quit playing because I couldn't keep up with Nate.
He just got lazy, is what it was.
I had to work hard. Flipping those biscuits.
That was with my aunt Willie. I love you, Aunt Willie.
That's right.
She's still there.
Don't forget about Joyce.
Yeah, Joyce, she's there too. She's still there.
Yep. She's still at Hardee's?
Yeah.
Wow.
They pretty much run it.
Listen,
Running
Joyce, I'm sorry.
I think she might be. I know she was doing I think she was working in Virginia a lot at that Hardee's as well.
Listen,
so
she made me so mad one night. I broke a broomstick and threw it at her.
Oh my goodness.
Boy, that lady knew how to push buttons. I love her to death.
Yeah. Oh, she'll get you.
She's definitely one of those ants that just will be on you.
It's like the commercial. It's like the commercial where it's like expired. Yeah. But
He's gonna be dying right now.
Oh, you know that. But yeah.
And so we grew up similar experience, educationally. We had the same kind of experience.
Yes.
Like that. We know the troubles and the poverty of Appalachia better than most.
Absolutely.
You are an African American who lives in a town called Whitesburg.
Yeah.
Just pointing that out. So clearly, in our school, what was there, 5 of y'all?
Let's see. It was me, Selena, all through school, pretty much until I had graduated.
When we were seniors.
Yeah, up until then. When we were seniors, oh geez. Okay, so it was me, Selena, Marquita had graduated, Biggie graduated. So it was me, Selena. Montez was with us for a minute, but he was gone by then. Yeah. So you had Jessica Hinch, because she was younger than us. Jessica Mullins, maybe. Yeah, she's younger. There might have been 5 of us. Yeah, there's probably 5 African Americans when I graduated as a senior.
Now, how many black teachers did we have?
0.
So, just to paint a picture of the culture, not that any of those people were bad, because
100%.
Yeah, we love them all.
Yeah.
We love them all.
But to think, though, in the whole school, though, you got to think this was middle school and high school. So, we got 8 through 12, 4 African Americans. And then in the entire middle school, you got a whole section. So we've got probably maybe, let's say, just roughly 250 kids in the whole school, middle school, high school. And less than 10% were African American. Yeah. You know what I mean? Less than less than 10% African American with 0 African American teachers.
0.
That's where I grew
That's where.
up.
So I just wanted. I needed to kind of paint that picture, because you're not from a typical area,
No, I'm not
and
from where I live now.
yeah, and so like on top of that, like before Wi-Fi got there,
Oh God.
like there was no outside world influence. Like it was
Yeah, it was
very
crazy. We were watching, but like I tell people, it's like before YouTube, we had this thing that we would look up called E-Bombs World.
about world.
Yes, and people look at me today, they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Bruh, before YouTube, before World Star, before all that, like we was playing. If you wanted to play Call of Duty, you was on dial-up internet, homie.
Yeah,
Dial-up
yeah,
internet, people.
yeah.
It's crazy.
But I mean, we were lucky to get Line Rider and Stick Death to
Yeah,
work.
right. And
Remember Stick Death?
everybody was worried about the Razor, the flip Razor, and then the
Yeah.
Crazer. Like,
Well, I had the slider.
yeah, the slider, the little slider, the little,
Yeah, it's like
it's like blue.
yeah,
Yeah, my first phone was the little blue. I called it the blueberry, but not the flip one. But it had the lights on the side, and I had to pull up a whole antenna, like from Appalachian
yeah.
Wireless. It was a Nokia phone. Yeah, that was what was popping when we was in school. Yeah, what?
I mean, the best game you were going to get on it was Snake and
Snake,
Tetris.
yes, Snake. We was like, what? Like, look how big my snake is. Look how big my
Yeah,
snake is. I beat this 18 times. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's crazy. Wasn't a lot
that
going on back then, homies.
that's how it was back then.
It was
Like it
pure. Life was pure and simple, though. Like,
was,
pure and simple.
but also we didn't know about the radical racial tensions in the outside world.
Absolutely. Like my
We weren't aware of whenever you would walk in a bathroom and you would see the South will rise again. In our heads, we didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, at least I
right. I kind of had to do research without doing, you know what I'm saying, without doing research. Like asking my parents questions about certain things because, like, I remember, like, even to this day, I'm the type of guy, like, I like to wear hoodies or jackets with hoods, and I like to wear that hood. Well,
right.
okay, and this is years and years and years before any Trayvon, any type of racial crazy tension about, or unidentification, stuff like that. This is before I really even knew what that was. But I
Right.
remember my parents would always tell me, like, it'd be nighttime. I'd have my hoodie on. We'd walk into a store, like, say, Walmart, for instance, and they're like, take your hood off. Why? It's like, just take your hood off. And I would always get so mad at them. And I'd be like, why? They're like, you just don't understand. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it took years and years later for me to understand, like, okay, I understand, like, why mom and dad wanted me to take my hood off in public places. Like, it's crazy, but it was just something that was so minuscule that I thought, I'm like, they just want to be weird. Like, they just don't want people to look at me or something. It's like, well, I mean, in a sense, yeah, they're correct, and that's why. But it's like, you don't understand how people look at you. You know what I mean? And my dad was the guy that he was in a place called Whitesburg, you know what I mean? And even still, I learned stories later on in life, about, stuff, challenges that my dad faced as a grown man.
I want to hear about some
Yeah.
of that
Oh, I
stuff.
will definitely. I'll tell you the craziest story that I've heard and did not learn. I learned about it like a year ago. It's crazy.
You're cutting off the top of your head sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh, should I just
There
sit?
we
Yeah,
go.
let me just sit back and just chill. Let me just relax. Yeah, because I could only see half of your face there for a minute, and I was just like, maybe it's me, so I don't know why, but it's cool.
I've never used this app before, so we'll see how it plays out.
Hey, it's got good reviews.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. So,
Good old Eastern
so
Kentucky.
with the first question, how has your experience as an African American living in Eastern Kentucky shaped your racial identity? like your understanding of your race and identity.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
predominant. Your
Like.
only influence was your parents, really.
Yeah. It really was. Because
And
a lot of people don't, or you'd hear the jokes growing up, be like, oh, I bet Nate, I bet you love chicken. I bet you love watermelon. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And like when I was younger and was just coming along, like I ain't really. It's like I knew
get what?
about it, but I didn't care. But
Right.
but then once I started to like see, like, yo, like that's kind of really stereotypical, borderline racist. Like I need to kind of you know, put my words out there so people don't think that like, oh, it's okay for me to make jokes like that, blah blah blah. Because I mean, now that I'm a dad, I've got 4 babies coming up in this world, and they already got 2 strikes against them. Their complexion already, because they don't look like they're mixed, and then them being mixed on top of that is another thing that it's like I never thought that it would be a big deal,
It is.
but it is. Yeah, absolutely. And
I married a Palestinian. I
yeah,
get it.
and I'm like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? But it's people. It's like if people would really do their research and really dig into their genealogies and all that, they're mixed with something,
Oh yeah.
and you know exactly what it is. I mean, you know what I mean? Let's just be real about it. Like, there is no pure white, whatever, pure black, whatever, pure Chinese. No, there's none of that. Like, we are all
No,
mixed and infused like a mixed drink.
I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna make you crack up. Whenever I got the ancestry
Did
DNA,
Ancestry? Yeah.
I am 4% Congaian and 6% Somalian.
Wow. Wow. No way.
Yeah, no idea where it comes. Well, I think I found the lady through genealogy, but
Yeah.
who knows?
That's
Who
pretty
knows where
cool,
it
though.
comes
I was like 60. I'm like pretty much from Ghana.
from? Yeah,
68%, 69%. It's something wild.
yeah, that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
And so, really, though, like your only influence. Oh, we had Doris in our school.
Yes,
Doris Williams.
Doris, Miss Dory, also, all right, rest in peace. Great woman, great lady.
Whoa! Rest in peace.
Yeah, she passed away. She lost her battle with cancer. It's been more than 5 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. She passed away before my dad passed away, and my dad has
Oh,
been gone 6 years. So, yeah,
dang.
yeah. So, yeah, at least I'm saying maybe 10 now. Yeah,
Her boy could ball.
yeah, yeah.
Her boy could ball. Her son,
Yeah,
he could play.
he went overseas and played.
Yeah, he did.
Pretty cool. So yeah, we had Doris. So totally had
So your
forgotten.
influence, though, is very. I mean, you got the Oldens.
Yeah,
You got your dad.
pretty limited, pretty rare. Then Victor had actually came.
Yeah.
So there was okay. So there's probably, and I was living in Whitesburg at the time. So you're thinking in Whitesburg, it was our family, Victor Gaynor, um, and probably that's about it. Everyone else that I was remotely close to, or anything like that, that was in Mac Roberts or Hazard.
Right.
You know,
And they were always in trouble.
yeah, they were all wild. That was all wild. That was
Yeah.
wilding out. We was wilding out at the Mac
Bro.
Town. You've been to Mac. You've been to the Mac Town.
When I try to explain people what a Eastern Kentucky strip job party
They
is
still
like,
don't know. Like we said that the other day. Like Cody was talking about it. It was like, yeah, it's like we need to have a strip job party, and there's like, what's a strip
wait,
job?
yeah, my wife laughs all the time because I've never been to a strip club. Whenever I get asked that, I'm like, no, I ain't never been to a strip club, but you ain't never been to no strip job either.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, they're like, no idea. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Like, why didn't you go to a strip club? Because they were 5 hours
Yeah,
away.
we didn't have any. Like, people were talking too. They're like, "You all don't have any like factories where you all are from?" Like, no. Like, that's literally why you know what I mean? That's why I'm here.
Appalachia. Daniel.
So we ain't no factory. Factory? Like a warehouse? You talking about a
Yeah.
warehouse?
We got Taylor Metal. We got like 1 or 2 coal mines left. You got
If
fast
that,
food and Walmart.
yeah. Or be a nurse. Work
Or
at the
be a nurse.
hospital.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Because like you don't understand like the opportunities that we were so limited to, like options.
That's why I live. That's why I'm not there.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
That and my wife being Palestinian, we were always getting gas station comments.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's frustrating. So,
Right.
question 2: have you ever encountered any unique challenges or experience related to your racial identity? Now, so here, insert George Floyd.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I saw you speaking to the courthouse. I saw you on microphones. I saw you rubbing elbows with politicians.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, you're in Whitesburg, Kentucky,
Yeah.
Lincoln, Kentucky, and Pikeville. The Klan rests in some of these counties still.
The Klan rode through Eastern Kentucky, and we're staying in Dean last year. Last year.
Okay, see, okay, there you go. So I'm trying to paint the picture for the people watching of what kind of the area is not racist. Like,
Not completely.
It's not dangerous for a black person to walk down the street. Like you're not like it's not hostile. That's not what we're trying to say. We're trying to paint a picture of the perspective is not necessarily one that would include Nate Thompson's perspective.
Yeah, like
what I'm trying to point.
It was just, yeah, like he said, it wasn't hostile, but it was at the same time like you would know there's certain areas still in Eastern Kentucky to where if you were to travel there as an African American, as a carload of African Americans, like we're gonna say Line Fork. We're going, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just a place to where we're not gonna really hang out. And even
Leslie,
yeah, like you know, we're not really gonna hang out there. But I mean, I was never the type of person to be afraid of like to go anywhere just because of that's just me. But there's places to where you would have to be mindful of your surroundings, you know, because I would go play ball at certain gyms and I got undercut. You know what I mean? Because me being the only African American, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about gyms like during school. I'm talking about gyms like me as a person, as a man, just wanting to go out and just play ball. You know, you wasn't always welcome at certain places. It's like, oh, you can dunk it? Well, you're not gonna dunk on me, buddy or boy. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So,
hey, I do have a confession to make.
What's that?
When I was post high school and I was playing ball on a regular,
yeah,
I was able to throw it down finally. I'm 6'5".
Yeah, you should be able to. That's what I was about to say. You should be able to.
Get in shape.
You were lazy. You were just lazy. Let's just be honest. You were just lazy. It's like, Pollard, why don't you play? You'd have some excuse. Oh, well, you know, I got so much homework to do after school. Pollard, you don't do your homework. You just don't want to. You don't want to run. You come out in condition. You come out in condition for a week, and then you wouldn't play anymore. It's like, dude, you got through the hard part. I'm like, what? You got through the hard part. Just play. Like now, it's easy. Rest of the year, Garnet ain't gonna make us run that much unless we mess up. But we was always in shape though, because like being where we're from, again, like we're not blessed to be able to have guys 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", even 6'5". You know what I'm saying? That was rare. So all of our
Oh,
teams, all of our athletics, like we had to learn how to, just battle. It don't matter your size, it matters about your heart.
yeah. Coach Johnson asked me to come out and play tight end. I don't know how many times
Yeah.
because
We have
my senior
yeah.
year I had filled out and I wasn't a small individual my senior year
Right.
and
We could have used you and Coach Mark. That was Coach Mark Johnson and Coach Randy. That was,
that's
you know
in
what I'm
Thompson.
saying? Yeah. Coach John,
Good coach.
yeah. He was great. I love
Really,
him.
yeah. And so, what was that moment like though? Whenever George Floyd protests across the nation erupt, all of a sudden, Eastern Kentucky, there's signs going up,
Hmm.
from the holler, from the hood to the holler. Is it Charles?
Charles
Charles
Booker.
Booker. Charles Booker showing up. He's doing rallies. Hundreds of people are gathering at courthouses. You're giving speeches. Tell me about that.
So, I mean, I got to shout out. We called ourselves, we were a peaceful group, but at the same time, it was like me, Natasha Rachel, Tev, Machella Phipps, Brandon, Jen. I mean, just, bro, it was so many of us that got together right downtown in Whitesburg. And we kind of formed this little committee because like we had the county judge executive putting crazy stuff on Facebook, and so it was like, you know what, like we have African Americans who live here, and so Deja and Ron and Tevin and Donji and like the whole, like there was just this whole group of us, man, that we decided, you know what, we're gonna bring we're gonna have a rally here. We're gonna do this, this, and this. Natasha Rachel laid it out. Her her and the team, bro, they did they made it easy for me. Like I was just like, I want to be involved, but like
You just
you all let me know what to do. And so we were meeting, making signs, bro. Like it was just so crazy and it was so beautiful to watch. And then we did the rally. Everything was cool. Everything went smooth, even though we had some, issues. Some people were throwing up nooses, throwing up stuff like on Facebook, and people that I
oh,
was really, really close to, people that I love, care about, whatever. And they thought it was a joke. And I'm like, it's like, you all don't understand. Like, y'all think that, oh, because you live in this bubble in Eastern Kentucky and you don't have to encounter, like 1 out of 3 people that you meet being of a different race, you all think that this doesn't affect me, doesn't affect my family, doesn't affect my babies coming up, doesn't affect the world around us. And so, there was a lot of people that I kind of fell out with because they were kind of making jokes, making fun, but it's like you're saying, "Oh, Nate, I love you." It's like if you love me, then you would understand where I feel about this. You would understand how I feel about the passion of why innocent people are being murdered and hurt and killed for no reason. Yes, it happens on both sides of the fence. White, black, purple. Well, we know that. We
numbers are
know that.
disproportionate.
But I don't ever remember in this lifetime or this world to where black people were made to be and look and feel inferior or less than a one race. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That's the
Well, the whole
difference. That's
system
what people
set
don't
up.
get.
Right.
So
The
I
Constitution wasn't written with you in mind.
Yeah, and so I'm like,
But
okay, I think if you care about me at all, then you should want to be able to be like, you know what, I feel that, I understand that, I sympathize with that. It's like, what if that was your kid? What if that was your family member that literally was gasping for help, literally gasping for his mother in the final breaths of his life? He was gasping and yelling for his mother, man. Like if that don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't that's not a complete race problem. That's a people problem. And there's
yeah,
evil people out here. And so, me being able to meet with Booker and, tell him, hey man, we got your back, we support you, I stand on everything you're standing on, you know, that was pretty cool. Like
Yep.
that's like one of probably the second, one of the second most influential people I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And you don't meet most of them being from Whitesburg.
yeah, and that just don't
How many
happen.
people come with
But it was cool, but him standing there and, and with Breonna Taylor, man, and him knowing her personally, and seeing that, and then him saying, it's like, we're not doing, this isn't for a show. This isn't for people to say, hey, I'm here with you guys because of this. He's like, I'm here with you because of what you stand on and what the principles are behind this. And so once I got
right.
to, meet and talk and chill with him, man, then that just kind of made me, that made me feel like, okay, like, yeah, that's awesome, And so, there was people that were really, really close to us, close to me, close to my family. I feel, it kind of changed a few people's way of perspective and thinking about, especially like the jokes that they make, something so small like that. So being able to, to have my face associated with these guys that are big time, I'm nobody. I'm just going to be Nate always, that's just me. But to be able to be involved with someone that, is in the Senate, in politics, in the White House, like a voice across the entire country, I think that's pretty cool. And so I think that kind of
Yep.
really, kind of woke me up, and be like, you know what, continue to do what you do, and, with educating people or being just who you are as a person, and people, if they don't like you, then that's just something wrong with them. You know what I mean?
Actually, like, I lost a common. Me and you had a common friend growing up, and my stance on the Breonna Taylor happenings, and my march with the Breonna Taylor happenings, cost me a very dear friendship. Um, you probably know who it is in your head, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it out loud. Um, and I hate that, and I wish that there was a way to fix that. But at the same time, I am never going to apologize
They
for
played
being
ball
a
with us, didn't they?
huh?
They played ball with us.
Oh yeah,
I was there. I was pretty much with him every day. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's my best friend. What you mean? You said your common friend. You know exactly. That was my best friend going in high school. Yeah.
bro, I traveled the nation with that dude.
I still don't.
Um,
I still don't understand. I still don't. I still don't know what happened. Honestly.
no, no. So, um,
But
it
yeah.
is what it is,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I saw a lot of encouraging things compared to. And I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I would see as we were growing up.
Oh yeah.
Compared to where it was in the 90s and the early 2000s, where on any bathroom
Oh
wall,
yeah.
on any gas station, you're going to see the South's going to rise again.
Yeah. Or KKK.
Or
Or
KKK,
Nazi, neo-Nazi stuff, like,
symbols, the Confederate flag,
and then the S that people drew, like with the
the
three
little,
lines.
yeah, yeah. And then people who would claim that they are not racist
Yeah,
would say a phrase that I'm going to say to you that you're going to go, oh yeah, that was very common.
yeah, oh
They
yeah.
would say there's a difference between a black person and but I choked you.
The ER, the
Yeah,
yeah.
there's and say it. They would say the whole thing,
Oh,
like,
100%. You heard
and
it.
that was yeah.
You heard it. When we were playing football, when we went to Allen Central and they had the biggest rebel flag I've ever seen in my life painted on the field because they knew that we had two African Americans on the team that were pretty good. It was me and Biggie.
Yep.
And they painted the biggest rebel flag I've ever seen on a football field. It was their homecoming too. I'll never forget that night.
We won. Didn't we win that game?
Yeah, but
Okay.
we got beat up. They tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Tried to take Biggie out. They tackled me on the rebel flag, and I got up and spit on it. And then remember the dude came running up and just hit me out of nowhere.
Didn't who? Somebody got kicked in the face in that game.
I think it was maybe either Danny or Jonah.
I think it was Danny.
Because remember, Danny got hurt really, really bad that game. That was crazy. Yeah. So I mean, you seen it. You knew, like, it was crazy. Just being around us was like people didn't understand. And it's like, wait a minute, like, why are they treating us like this all of a sudden? It's like, well, because you have African Americans on your team now, so you're guilty by association.
Yep. Yep.
It's crazy.
Man.
You remember our parents had the greatest. We had the greatest fans ever. Whenever we went anywhere, it didn't matter.
They traveled.
But if you tried to mess with one of the kids, any one of them, our parents they would not go for that. They would not stand for it. I loved it.
Down.
Yeah, I loved our group, like our group that we graduated with the exception of like Jonathan. I miss Jonathan growing up with us, and Bryce. You know what I'm saying? All the ones that we kind of just flaked off along the way, but like, you know what I mean? Our group though, like, you know what I mean? We got to go to the Bahamas for a senior trip. That's how cool we were.
But bro, me and you, hold on. Stop the phone.
Oh, here we go. Story time.
Me and you rented scooters.
Yes, nobody believes me when I tell you this story. When I know exactly what he's gonna say. This guy tried to sell us something. Tell him, bro. We about got killed in the Bahamas.
And we're driving down this shady.
We just got off. Wait, hold up. We just got off this glass bottom boat tour. Okay.
Yes.
And two, we got to be out like in the city, kind of in an area, but like we had to be with somebody, but you know, like we didn't have to be with an adult. So you got some 17 and 18-year-old kids on Paradise Island riding around on scooter. Paul was like, bro, he's like, let's rent scooters. Like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. And we'll rent scooters. And then this man, let me just, go and tell him the story, Pollard. Go on. Yeah, go and tell him the story.
First, you wreck. That's the first thing that happened.
Yeah, I did. I wrecked the scooter, y'all. But it wasn't bad, though. It wasn't bad. It just cracked the plastic.
Yeah.
So we got another one.
We go down the wrong way. Like, apparently the roads are opposite down there. And so we were going down a one-way street.
Yeah.
On scooters. And then we make a turn into something.
Random house. Now, mind you, this ain't even no house for real. Okay, there's an RV, you know, on one side of the lawn, and then it's like then there's like a little shack behind it. He ain't saying it wasn't no house.
And then there's like half a fence.
With gravel in the driveway.
Yep. And the dude yells, "Y'all want to buy some dogs?" And we're like, "No, we're lost."
Nope.
And he lets his pit bulls out of his house.
Yeah.
He lets loose his dogs.
And he's waving for somebody to come outside.
And he's waving for
It was about to be a whole murder scene. I
Bro,
said, Pollard, we got to go now, bro. I said, what's this? I
no,
said, what's he doing? Pollard said, what? He said, what? I said, Pollard, what's he doing? Here comes dogs and all, slobbering, running out and he's waving for somebody to like bring me the bag or bring me the gun. I don't know what it was. I was on the scooter. I said, Pollard, let's go. I was dipping. I left Pollard
but the
standing right
thing is,
there.
those scooters went like 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, so
We were taking
they could
off
have
like
literally
80.
just walked us down. Like they could just walk down the street, and grabbed us, like, come here, you're
Yeah,
buying this.
we had no chance. We had no chance they would have caught
It was
us.
bad. Still
The
don't know.
dogs,
Still don't know what
there's
happened.
nothing we could have done with those three. I think it was 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Giant free. They were the steroided out pit bulls.
they were huge. The bullies, the XL bullies. They were
Yeah.
gonna eat somebody alive that day. I'm telling you. I don't know, but it was Pollard's fault. Pollard, yeah, we can turn around right here. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we turned around. The white boy in the Bahamas.
Yeah, and he's like, you want to buy some dope? He's like, no. And he's like, bro. I was like, Pollard, we gotta go. Dip out. Let's put the key in it and let's go, man. Yeah, it was bad. But we almost died in the Bahamas on our senior trip. Imagine explaining that to our parents.
We almost ended up being that, Natalie Hathaway.
Yeah.
Whatever that
I don't
chick's
know.
name was.
I don't know what that. I don't know. I still don't know. Good times.
We wouldn't have been that famous because it's a black guy and a redhead. Nobody cares.
They would have cared. They would have cared.
Nobody.
Not in the Bahamas anyway.
No.
And
so yeah, we did get to do some pretty dope stuff.
But it's limited.
But what I saw happen during that time, whenever Booker was there, I saw for the first time a lot of people get it.
Yeah.
And like go, oh, okay, this is what this is. Like this is an actual problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other side. Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Yeah, a lot of people really jumped and they was like, whoa, like I didn't even know like this was a thing. I
was not expecting that kind of rally behind Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Because even
oh, there we go.
Oh, shoot.
Something happened there. Yeah, we even had so where I lived, in the house that I lived, and then the radio station that was WIFX, right? Okay, so you know how it's turning, it's facing, and it's pretty much like it's overlooking the city, kinda, right there at the beginning of Main Street. Well, those had actually turned into apartments, okay? So there was a lovely soul. I can't even remember her name, and I hate it, but she lived at the top. Well, in that apartment window, bro, it was pretty much like one of the VJ booths, the DJ booths, where you would broadcast there in the morning show. There was a window that overlooked the city, man, and she literally had Black Lives Matter in her window, bro, for a month, 2 months. And actually, people started complaining on her and wanted her to take it down.
Are you talking about GC's old radio station building?
Yes. Yeah. Those were actually turned into apartments. They're actually apartments now. You know what I'm saying? Because that was that building, which is crazy. That building made me want to do something on the radio. Eventually I did.
That was the first time I was ever on the radio.
Yeah. 94.3, the Foxy, 94, Ted Meadows, GC, Ernestine. Yeah, bro, that was...
GC sees this. Shout out. You taught me how to drive.
Yeah, he did. He taught me how to drive. From the church. We'd be at church, and then it'd be like, hey, who wants to drive home? Who's driving everybody home this Sunday? We was driving the van around. Boom. Yeah. You already know.
Yep.
GC.
And then GC was the dude. And so nowadays, we got 20 minutes left. So nowadays, how do you balance your cultural heritage, discovering more and more about African American heritage and stuff like that? And even on my page, 40% of coal miners before 1930 were
Yeah,
African
African
American.
American. Yeah, a lot of people.
They are the only reason. Actually, the African Americans and the Scots are the only reason we have unions in that
Yeah,
area. They did so much stuff. Bluegrass music came from an African American
yeah.
who taught Bill Monroe, and Bill
There you go.
Monroe.
Yeah,
I have videos of all that on my page, but so like as more and more African American culture gets exposed, how are you balancing that while living in Whitesburg?
well, I don't live in Whitesburg anymore, so
Oh,
that's a good thing. Yeah. So but I have kids
but
that
shout
are
out to
there.
Whitesburg.
You know what I mean?
Whitesburg has awesome people.
Yeah. Like that was just like a thing of like, okay, the more that I've learned, the more that I've found out, it's like, okay, I want to educate my kids for one, but then I also want to educate other people that have kids that are coming up and have people that are coming up, to let them know that it's like, because a lot of people they would just like they'd see it and they'd stare at you like this, and I'd always say, you'd hear me, I'd be like, yeah, we're not just on TV. Okay, we don't just play for the University of Kentucky or a pro team or something. Like, we are real, we do exist.
Which, hold up, you are the only dude that I know that has never seen a soccer ball and walked on and made a college dunk. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Part of the
it's fun.
part of the reason I gave up on football is because I played corner and safety, and
Yeah.
I ran a 4.9, and you ran a 4.3, and I just said no.
Yeah, he said no. I was like, why? It's like,
Then you had Jono Tackett, who
Jono,
ran
great.
a four a
Rest in
4.3,
peace, my brother.
4.4.
Yeah. Jono was super quick. Then you had little Jared.
And then you had Biggie, who my
Biggie would
6'5",
move. Biggie could
I
move.
couldn't get enough to hit him, and every time I hit him, it felt like I was tearing my ACLs out. So I was like, I'm just
Yeah, he said, I'm just done. But
freaking.
Pollard, I remember you wore number 9 first because that was I remember that. But yeah, Pollard would get out there and Pollard would hit you until,
I laid with.
but then he just, I don't know, he just decided, you know what, I don't want to hit nobody no more. So I mean, I understand. Hey, if I could do it over, I would not play football. I would literally just play basketball and run track. That's all I would do.
Baseball.
Well, yeah, y'all was good at baseball. I was blind by then.
I was not good at baseball. I
Eh,
couldn't hit a ball to save my life.
mm,
So, So you're in the Ville now.
yeah, pretty much. I'm right outside of it, Simpsonville.
All right.
So
So
it's like I said, it's a balance. You got to find a balance there.
yeah. Yep. So for those living in Eastern Kentucky, is there any good places for African Americans to find a community, to find cultural heritage stuff?
Ooh, that's like a not really, honestly. Like that's a really do your research, or like luckily there are some scholars and people that have been in the area or have done research about history of African American culture about with Eastern Kentucky and how that correlates. So, but
There
I
is some,
mean, but there's really, I mean, you might be able to go into any of the libraries that we have and find maybe some stuff, but I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's me
right.
and I'm wanting to teach my kids and want my kids to learn, it's like I'm not really gonna rely on whatever the educational system is going to throw at them, and plus whatever resources that you probably won't find, in the library. So I'm gonna really just try to, that's gonna be a thing I want them to kind of discover how they want, because they're gonna hear story after story. I've been blessed to be able to be around people that know, the history and culture and have lived through some instances and watch, the early coal miners come in and leave and stuff like that,
Right.
and why the coal camp houses are the way that they are, so there's great people that are there that can educate. But as far as like they're not really gonna do it unless, you know what I'm saying, unless somebody knows, or like unless
And
somebody
even
knows
then,
them or
a lot of
something.
them,
Yeah, it's
a lot of them,
nothing.
a lot of them moved to Richmond.
Yeah, a lot of them just left. Period. They just
Yeah,
left.
yeah. I mean, a guy who would be a great resource on that would be Lawrence Payne.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and he's like, I ain't staying here.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't telling them no. Yeah, hey, but yeah, there's so many great people though, that have seen it. Like I said, like it's crazy, but it's part of our culture, part of our history.
And so, before we get off here, how'd you meet you were
Oh,
adopted.
yeah,
Got about 6 minutes to kind of spend on this.
yeah,
Uh, Man, I met my dad when I was 35, 36,
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, and so what was it like? How'd you find them?
Well, okay, like I'm gonna give you the real short version. Uh, Me and my ex, we'd had my youngest child now, her youngest child as well, and it was like we want to do like a family kind of history type thing, health wise. So
23.
yeah, we did ancestry. Uh,
Okay.
so we did the ancestry. Took a month. I spit in the tube, and then got a message back from a lady who turned out to be my cousin, who had said you need to message this person because it's saying that we're matched as this. So it's like, okay. So then she gives me the number. I call. Turns out we're talking. He's like, hey, we're doing this, this, and this. And, hey, if you want to do a DNA test, then like we could, because like either I'm your dad or this other guy. And it's like, well, wait a minute. No, there's no reason to do a test. He's like, well, why? I was like, this is proof. Wait, if this is my cousin, that's your niece, then you're my dad. And he was like, what? Wait a minute. I was like, I didn't do a genealogy. Like, this is DNA. Like, I spit in a vial and it got sent off and was tested. I said, so there's no reason to do any type of DNA. I
Right. We
said,
already.
that's it. Boom. And so I had ended a pretty much a 34-year mystery, and
That's
then call my mom, get to talk to my mom for the first time, and then talk to my brother, talk to my sister, talk to my aunt or whatever. My birth mom had said like in 2012 that, she had announced to the family that, hey, I don't think you all know this, but there's another one of us out here. And it was kind of like, what? And I was like, yeah, no, like there really is. And blah blah blah. So there she was on this mission since 2012 to kind of find me. And dude, it was, you know what I mean. And so then I got to go to Richmond, Virginia, meet her, meet my dad, meet my brother, meet my sister for the first time. And man, it's just, I mean, we were just, it's great. It's a great story. Yeah, one day I will tell the whole story,
what
but yeah, it
they're in
was.
Richmond.
My mom and my brother is in Richmond, but my dad is in Georgia. My aunt is in Georgia. I've got another brother in Georgia. My
Well,
sister, my real sister,
me.
there, my real sister, she is in Brooklyn, New York. You know, with her family. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. Like I have to tell you about it, but it's been awesome. It's been amazing, and it's like I've been blessed enough to be able to have two families. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, and what's kind of unique about it is the passing of Truman,
Mm-hmm.
and just a little bit later you meet your real dad.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, like it almost a handoff in
Yeah, I
kind of a
know, and
way.
I got blessed to be
Way it
able
was.
to say like, hey, I got my dad. I lost my dad, and I still got my dad. There's not. I don't think there's really a lot of people or anybody that can say that I'm close to. So it's definitely unique, and definitely it's crazy. I mean, it is crazy, but man, it's awesome at the same time though. Two great
So
people, It's crazy.
awesome. So I'm going to I'll hit stop on this, but don't hang up because it has to upload before we get out of here.
Okay.
But I'm going to link do you have Cash App?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to, whenever I post this on Facebook and YouTube, I'll have your Cash App linked.
Oh, okay.
So if anyone wants to, send Nate a gift, for his hard times and just making ends meet with having multiple kids and, being in this crazy economy, it'll be in the comments. We'll have a new episode up next week. And you guys, thanks for watching Jono's World. Nate, anything to say?
Oh man, appreciate you having me on, man, and I look forward to doing this again, 100%.
Absolutely. Episode 1 complete. Stay on though, okay?
Got you.
Thanks for hanging with us that long. There's ways you can support me and my guest in the comment section.